Let's turn to Bangladesh now, where the honeymoon is over for Mohammad Yunus. Every leader has that phase. They're newly elected, the people love them, the global community is curious, and they can do no wrong. But Yunus's honeymoon appears to have ended. He's facing tough questions at home. First, from the president of Bangladesh. His name is Mohammad Shahabuddin. Last week, he talked to journalists about the events of August, about when Sheikh Hasina fled Dhaka. Soon the conversation turned to her resignation letter. Did she even draft one? And if so, was it handed over to the president? Listen to what he said.
There was no news anywhere. At one point, I heard that Sheikh Hasina had left the country without informing me. I am telling you the truth as it is. When everything was under control, one day, the cabinet secretary came to collect a copy of the resignation letter. I told him I was also looking for it.
The president did not get a resignation letter. He says there is no documentary evidence of Sheikh Hasina stepping down. Now, just to be clear, the president is not saying that Sheikh Hasina is still the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. He says that chapter is closed. But the narrative is problematic because Hasina's son has often said the very same thing, that she never resigned, that legally she is still Bangladesh's Prime Minister. That's what the son says. Of course, the interim government is having none of it. They say the president is lying, that he's violating his oath of office. The law minister even suggested removing the president. Now, just to be clear, Sheikh Hasina fled Dhaka on an airplane. If that wasn't a resignation, I don't know what is. So the president is really clutching at straws. But the Yunus regime is not doing any better. They toppled the prime minister. They made the chief justice resign, and now they're targeting the president of the country. At this rate, no one will be left to rule. It is the classic sign of an insecure government. In this case, also an unelected one. You see, Bangladesh does not have the provision for an interim government. Legally, it is not a thing in Dhaka, an interim government. So Yunus is basically running an ad hoc regime. He's handling things as they come. But the political parties in Bangladesh are not happy, especially the BNP, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. They're questioning the delay in holding elections. Now, Yunus keeps talking about reforms, but he's silent on the most important one, democracy. When will Bangladesh vote again? The interim government has set out some conditions like reforming the election commission, updating the voter list, and implementing political reform. Elections will only be held after that. Do you see the problem here? What if these reforms take 2 years to complete? Will Yunus cling on to power till then? Looks like he will. And he's got the military support as well. The army chief says democracy must return within 18 months. That's 1.5 years. It's a long term for an interim government, especially in a country like Bangladesh. Remember, this is not some failed state with a power vacuum. Bangladesh has institutions. Bangladesh has political parties. So the delay is quite surprising. Plus, who knows what Bangladesh will look like after 18 months, especially if hardliners have their way. I'm talking about the likes of Jamaat-e-Islami. Some of their leaders are pushing crazy plans like changing the name of Bangladesh and replacing the national anthem of the country. They want to completely alter the Bangladeshi identity. In these extreme cases, Yunus pushed back, but elsewhere he's playing along. Last week, he cancelled 8 national holidays. All of them were introduced by Sheikh Hasina. Among them, 2 days stand out. March 7th, which is Mujibur Rahman's birthday, and August 15th, his death anniversary. As you know, Mujibur Rahman is Bangladesh's founding father. He led the country's liberation movement, and yes, he is also Sheikh Hasina's father. But does that justify erasing his legacy? His contribution to Bangladesh? Surely not. Even Bangladesh's recent economic rise was steered by Sheikh Hasina. Will Mohammad Yunus destroy that legacy too? Will he abandon the garment factories and shops? I hope he doesn't, because Bangladesh needs to look ahead. It needs to fix problems in the present, not look for ghosts from the past.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained, every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.